Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of my Brown Bag Forum special takeout style. Before I begin, I just want to say, wow, it has truly been a crazy time. I hope you're all doing okay. I'm hanging in there as best I can, looking forward to a vacation in early August and a little bit of time off to rest and rejuvenate. I'm going to start off today with a few coronavirus-related updates, then provide you with a few village-wide updates, and finally, I'll try to answer some of the questions that I've received from you. On to the coronavirus. As of today, we have received all of the test results for the 341 Cruncher Center and Showalter Center residents and employees who were tested by the National Guard on July 10th, and all have come back negative. Hooray for that. Based on this, Cruncher Center and Showalter Center are moving forward with their plans to allow outdoor visits and then eventually indoor visits for our residents with their loved ones. We're working to compile all of our various reopening plans for the different facilities at Warm Hearth into one comprehensive outline, and we'll share this with all residents and staff when it's complete. The guidelines driving these plans are fluid and subject to change with minimal notice, which has made it difficult to nail down specific dates for resumption of various services, such as communal dining and, again, indoor visits with family members. Reopening of the fitness center has gone very well, and we're happy to have Jessica Robinson back with us and a new member of our fitness team, Marcus Burks. Outpatient rehab has also resumed at the fitness center for Warm Hearth residents only, and that's going well too. The Huckleberry Cafe continues to do a good takeout business. Resumption of dine-in service has been very slow. We understand that our residents are continuing to operate under an abundance of caution, and we certainly appreciate this. Carr Activity Center resumes enrichment programming this week, and Carson Library has been open for limited hours since mid-June. The Treasure Trove thrift store off campus has been reopened since mid-June and is doing well. Please remember us for your thrift store needs, whether donations or shopping. So in general, my experience over the past 4 months has shown me that attitudes about COVID-19 range from we're all gonna die to it's just a hoax and everything in between. Everyone has a different attitude and approach towards evaluating the risk that they face in terms of potential exposure and resulting illness. But it is important to remember that in a congregate senior living community like Warm Hearth, your actions are creating or minimizing risk for your neighbors, not just for yourself. Therefore, we ask that you continue to practice these ongoing precautions. Whenever you leave your home, wear a mask. We ask that you wear a mask even when outside at Warm Hearth Village, out of respect for your neighbors that you might run into. Avoid large gatherings, continue social distancing, and continue to try to minimize contact with people that don't live in your household. This includes parties, vacations, religious services, and other indoor events especially. Travel is still discouraged. The virus is spreading rapidly in many locations across the country. If you are traveling to a COVID-19 hotspot or planning a vacation with a large group of family or friends, plan to isolate yourself for 14 days after you return. If you are hospitalized, plan to isolate yourself for 14 days after discharge. Continue to discourage non-essential visits to your home. If you do have a visitor, please keep your visits brief, wear a mask, and maintain social distance. Continue no physical contact with those outside of your household. So please, no handshaking, no hugging. All those things we love to do, don't do them. Consider using in-home care or home health through Warm Hearth at Home as an alternative to the hospital or physician's office. And most importantly, if you are sick or feel that you may have been exposed to COVID-19, please stay home and contact your healthcare provider or local health department. Moving on to a few village-wide updates. I wanted to let you all know that we completed our debt consolidation and refinancing this month. The result of this process is that all of our outstanding debt is now financed through one loan with National Bank of Blacksburg. The refinancing not only will reduce our monthly debt service expense and cash outlay, it also provided us with a lump sum of cash to be used for needed capital improvements. Major projects that are currently in the works include installing a paved connector from the village center to Nuthatch Way, restoring the asphalt path between Dogwood Circle 14 and 15, removing the pavers and paving car center driveway and around the building, and staining the exterior siding of Holly Hill Place, Woodside Terrace 1200, and all of Dogwood Circle. So lots going on around our village this summer. Now for an update on the CEO search. As you all know, the search committee went back to the drawing board this month and interviewed 5 new candidates, then narrowed the pool to 3. Second interviews were conducted with these 3 candidates, and the recordings were made available for viewing by residents and employees. We ran into some technical difficulties getting the interviews posted on our website, and I apologize for any confusion that this may have caused. Hopefully you've watched the recorded interviews and submitted your feedback by now. As of this recording, we've received close to 100 surveys back from residents, so I know that many of you have done so. The search committee is conducting its final round of interviews this week and will then determine next steps. Meanwhile, I'm sticking around until my successor has been hired and we've had a chance to work together for a little while. I had originally planned to retire on September 25th, but that date is flexible depending on what happens with our hiring. Now I'd like to just talk to you a little bit about Warm Hearth's plans to enhance diversity, equity, and inclusion. I think you're all aware that our village, our community, and our society have all been experiencing heightened awareness of racial and social injustice. We as an organization are committed to work towards making Warm Hearth a more inclusive workplace and residential community. For the past 6 weeks, I've been searching for a professional partner with whom we might collaborate to advance our knowledge and our efforts on this front. I'm pleased to report that my search has led me to Dr. Sharon Jones, a member of the Radford University faculty and their Cultural Competency Project Manager. Sharon, who does consulting on the side, will be facilitating a series of listening circles and interactive educational workshops geared toward appreciating differences, which will be offered to all Warm Hearth staff starting next week and running through September. We're currently in the process of scheduling workshops for interested residents, which will begin immediately after the staff workshops are completed. If Sharon's programs are as well received as I hope they will be, we're likely to continue to partner with her for future sessions as well. And now for some questions from you. First, how are we showing vacant units to prospects since we remain closed to visitors? That's a great question. Since we can't show our units to prospects in person, Ellen Rohr creates a virtual tour of vacant units for prospects to watch online. In fact, I just watched the virtual tour of Woodside Terrace 1414, and it looks great. Next question. What should we do when we see people at Warm Hearth Village not wearing masks? Another good question. When I run into somebody at New River House who is not wearing a mask, I usually ask, is there some reason you're not wearing a mask? The most common response is, I didn't know I needed to which I respond, well, you do. If they reply that they don't have one, I refer them to Bix at the Village Center, who has a supply of donated masks available for anyone who needs one. Next question. Would Warm Hearth Village welcome the development of a resident-centered diversity committee? Yes, we would. I've had private conversations with several of you over the past few months, and I had initially been focused on beginning this journey with residents, then incorporating employees into the mix. but recent events prompted me to first work to engage our employees on this topic, then our residents. Ultimately, I can envision residents and employees working together towards a goal of making Warm Hearth Village a more welcoming place for all who wish to live and work here. I think the best thing right now would be to give staff a little bit of time to get educated and to begin our journey with Sharon Jones, and then figure out how we can work together for the good of our community. So please stay tuned, and I will be back in touch with you on this point. That's about it for today. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope to see you all soon. Please stay safe. Bye now.